Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, my sandwich-eating gym rat brother, Alex. Alex, how you doing today?
I'm pretty nervous.
Nervous?
I'm nervous, man.
Why are you nervous?
Down 6.14 points. I got Alvin Kamara going tonight. Last player. All I need is a touchdown and like 2 receptions.
Hold on. I thought about this earlier.
What?
Who cares?
Fantasy football, bro.
Dude, you're
Come on, man.
grown-ass man playing fantasy football.
It's a money league at that. It's a money league.
Okay.
It's a money league.
I'll cut you some slack because it's a money league.
No, you don't play fantasy football for free.
Man, there's a shit ton of people that play fantasy. Dude, if you play fantasy football, you may as well freaking break out the G.I. Joes and play with action figures and shit, bro. I mean, seriously, I'm a grown-ass man. No, I'm not going to, watch a game and hope that my player does well.
Oh,
That's
man. Come on, man. That's exciting.
Let me tell you right now, before we get the show rolling here, okay, you got to come strong today, all right?
Okay.
If you don't do a good job on this podcast, I'm going to fucking jump over the cage and go beat your family's ass on the stands. All right? They're all out there. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to beat the tar out of them after I beat the tar out of you.
The end result's not going to be good for you.
I don't know. Look, let's get into all of that. So obviously we're talking about the Khabib McGregor fight that happened on Saturday night in Las Vegas.
Now, why do you say Conor McGregor's last name and not Khabib's last name?
No one can say Khabib's last name. I can't say it. It starts with an N and ends in a V, but all the stuff in the middle may as well be written in Chinese.
Never.
I can't put all that stuff together. Nurmagomedov.
Is that how you say it?
That's how I just said it.
That's what we'll just roll with Khabib.
That's right. So the fight of the century for the UFC. They've only been around 25 years, but still the fight of the century.
Quarter century.
The fight of the quarter century for sure. The biggest fight in UFC history. Khabib against McGregor. The fight itself, there's 2 ways to look at it. If you're an MMA fan, it was great. Mm-hmm. It was very technical, a lot of grappling on the ground, trying to get position, watching Khabib work to try to get what eventually ended up being, they're calling it a rear naked choke, looked more like a neck crank to me, semantics, right? To the casual fan, a little bit boring because, most casual fans want to see the knockout. But the real storyline of the fight, the grappling and the neck crank and real naked choke, that's not the story. The storyline was the bad blood. And the bad blood has been boiling for a while.
It boiled over already.
And it boiled over on Saturday. So just to give everyone a little backstory, because we don't talk a whole lot of MMA here, but I am a junkie. This feud started in November of 2016. Khabib was coming up through the ranks, not quite yet getting a title shot, but he was on his way. And McGregor was fighting for his second title at the time against Eddie Alvarez, the lightweight championship. And that night they crossed paths at Madison Square Garden, and Khabib had some choice words. Mm-hmm. McGregor, of course, had some choice words back, and that's when it started brewing. That's when the bad blood started brewing. They knew they'd meet somewhere down the line. McGregor went on to win the lightweight championship, got stripped, went on to fight Mayweather. Khabib won the interim title that then became the regular title. And, there was the incident in April in Brooklyn where Khabib got a hold of one of Conor McGregor's training partners and kind of smacked him around a little bit. Khabib with 10 of his cronies, and this guy was by himself in a hotel lobby, and he smacked him up a little bit. Really kind of a shit move on Khabib's part, but whatever. Conor McGregor, got on a jet with a bunch of his cronies and came looking for him, and of course that was the famous dolly incident where he threw the dolly at the bus that Khabib was on, broke a window.
Hand truck
for those that like the more masculine terms, and it set up this fight, and this fight was personal, it
all the way,
and
Too personal.
Yeah, it got bad because they had the press conferences building up the fight, and McGregor McGregor's a showman. And an artist at that. He is a promoter in the making. He is Don King on steroids who happens to be able to fight. But he took it next level with Khabib. He talked about Khabib's father. He talked about Khabib's religion. He talked about Khabib's manager. And I'm talking about personal shit. And of course, McGregor's got some guys around him that are, cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
A gentleman by the name of Dylan Dennis, who is a jiu-jitsu wizard and was one of his corner guys. After the fight, Khabib holds on to the choke a little bit longer than he should have, probably, a second too long maybe. Finally, Herb Dean, the referee, gets him off. Khabib shouts at McGregor, walks halfway across the cage, and apparently it catches someone from McGregor's camp said something. It catches his ear.
Yeah.
And he turns around and fires his mouthpiece at them, which, of course, that wasn't the problem.
I wonder if it went through.
I doubt it. Although that would be some aim.
It would be.
And then, just in an instant, like that, Khabib turned, hopped that fence like a true criminal, like he had just stolen a stereo, and he's running from the cops, and cannonballed into a crowd of people where Dylan Dennis was, and he was wanting to get at somebody.
Looked like he was going to give him a double knee, right? Because his knees were like...
Yeah, it looked like he cannonballed into the crowd, which the Eagle was soaring. The Eagle, in case you didn't know, that's his nickname. Khabib the Eagle.
Yeah.
And security couldn't catch up to him. And in all fairness, those security guys at the MGM or the T-Mobile Arena, whatever, look, their security to deal with drunken, unathletic, Cheeto-eating fans, right? Not an elite athlete who takes a running leap at this fence, hops over. And then McGregor goes after him. He's about to hop over the fence, and someone grabs him. Finally, he comes back down. And so now all of security is worried about Khabib. And two of Khabib's buddies jump into the cage and sucker punch McGregor. Punch him a couple times.
Which, by the way, McGregor landed the first punch on one of Khabib's guy.
When they're on the fence. When they're both on top of the fence. He takes a swing at him. I don't know that he hits him, though. But regardless, that's a minor detail in this story. And eventually, both participants get escorted out of the arena. And the funniest part to me was, and not funny, but just bizarre, Bruce Buffer, who is one of my favorite people, one day I want to announce. I want to be the ring announcer at a fight card. Just so I could channel my inner Bruce Buffer. I don't have a cool phrase or anything, but just to be there would be fun. In an empty octagon, announces a result, and then walks out. The show's over.
It was
surreal.
I don't think we have ever seen that before.
No.
Never been done. I'm the casual MMA, UFC. I am that casual fan you speak of. I thought the match was great. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
The fight itself was good, and then
the fight after the fight,
and then the after fight, that was exciting. It was exciting.
It was nuts.
It was crazy.
Nuts.
McGregor got his ass beat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he got dominated. Yeah. There's talk that he won. In fact, on the judges' cards, he did win the third round. Barely, but he won it, which is only notable because Khabib has never lost a round in the UFC. I don't know how many fights he's got in the UFC, 7 or 8, 10 fights. But he had never lost a round in the UFC.
Damn.
So it's small victory, I guess, for McGregor. But yeah, look, before the fight, that's all the talk, right? It was Khabib's wrestling and grappling versus McGregor's power shots, especially his left hand.
I know people knock Khabib because he kind of made the match a little boring, but he played to his strength and McGregor's weaknesses. I mean, isn't that the point of
sports?
Yeah,
right. That's how sports work.
Exactly. So,
yeah. Look,
to those saying that, I mean, totally disagree.
Oh, I agree. The people that think the fight was boring are people that are just uneducated about MMA, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, understand the sport, right? Before you criticize what he did, understand the sport. And and look, Khabib is a beast, an absolute beast. But he was dead wrong. Hopping out of the cage, he's dead wrong. Look, I've always said this. Every time one of those fans runs out onto a football field, I root for somebody to absolutely plaster that fan. Right?
Right.
When they run out to a football field, I wring my hands in anticipation that some linebacker type person will absolutely decapitate this drunken idiot because they are trespassing on the athlete's domain. But when the athlete leaves the cage, when the athlete leaves the field, Ron Artest, dead wrong.
I have no problem with what Khabib or Ron Artest did. I mean, look, man. The guy just finished winning a personal... It was a personal fight. It was personal. I don't care what anybody said.
Yeah.
Okay? It was more than just... He made McGregor tap out. He had his emotions, adrenaline running high.
Absolutely.
McGregor's corner was talking shit to him. And that's it, man. He kept going. He kept going. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what he did.
Oh, no, there's absolutely something wrong with what he did.
I mean, the only thing wrong is they're holding his check now, but I mean...
Hey, look, the fact of the matter is if you punch someone outside of the confines of a sport, it's assault.
It's his trainers.
It doesn't matter.
He didn't go attacking a fan.
It doesn't matter. If you punch someone outside of the confines of your athletic event, it's assault. It's assault.
Well,
here's my problem. I understand the whole personal stuff, but Khabib was the champion, but Khabib was clearly not the A side of this fight. McGregor was, right? Hence, McGregor made, I don't know, $50 million. Khabib maybe made 10. This is the biggest moment of his career.
Right.
This is the moment that's going to galvanize him with UFC fans. This is the moment where he becomes the top dog. And he can run. Look, he could run the promo. You tell me where. Just tell me where and we'll fight. He could run that promo and then the promo of him beating McGregor. And he can translate that into a $50 million payday for himself. Instead... he's going to hurt himself. He's going to lose a piece of his purse, which was $2 million. He's going to lose a piece of that. If the Nevada State Athletic Commission, which is investigating, if they end up suspending him for a year, they're going to strip him of the title. There go his pay-per-view points. There go his opportunity for him to make a $50 million payday in his next fight. So just from a business perspective, you got to be better than that. How is it that he had all of this control all week long? And this is the other stupid thing. After the fight, in the press conference, he says, hey, he talk about religion. He talk about my father. Hey, man, you had Conor McGregor face-to-face on Thursday before the fight when he had just talked about religion and your father and all this other stuff. Why don't you punch him then?
What? Why? I'm sure.
He
might not have had a chance to fight.
But that's my point. That's okay. Exactly. Hold on. No, wait.
But the fight already happened.
Hold on.
The fight already happened.
Listen, Alex. You are proving my point.
No.
Look, you are. No. Hold on. Listen. Hold on.
I know where you're going.
No. Hold on.
But he already.
He had the opportunity on Thursday.
Right.
The minutes after McGregor said all that nasty shit, but he didn't punch him then. Why? Because he wanted to fight.
Because he was going to have another opportunity Saturday night.
Because he was going to fight to make his $10 million. Then why go do that shit? Dude, you got a $50 million payday coming.
It doesn't matter. No, he doesn't. You know why? Because whether he went out of the ring, the octagon or not, they were going to do part 2 And
he may not be around to do part 2.
If he did even if he did not go outside the octagon, they would probably still do part 2, right?
Unless he gets suspended and can't get licensed again.
They're going to do it. And you think he would have headlined that one? You think he would have gotten that? You think for fight 2 he would have gotten $50 million?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
Absolutely.
As long as it's against McGregor, no.
That's exactly when he's going to get the $50 million.
No, he's not, bro.
Who's he going to get it against?
He's not going to get it at all because you know why? Because Dana White and the UFC like someone like McGregor.
Yeah.
But he and UFC let this happen. They let it happen, bro.
Look.
Yeah, man, come on.
Look, in my opinion, there's blame to go around for everyone. I agree with you there. But to say the UFC let it happen, I think is not fair to the UFC. They let some things happen. They certainly encourage some of it. But
wait, so didn't the UFC so Dana White didn't even suspend McGregor for throwing the hand truck?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, okay. So they let things happen.
But they didn't. But there was no commission involved. So
hold on.
Let me explain it to you because we're disconnecting here.
No, there's no disconnection.
Yeah, there is.
No, it's not.
There is a disconnection. McGregor can't get licensed to fight in New York, right? But the big fights happen in Vegas anyway. And I don't think the New York State Athletic Commission even got involved because it didn't happen during a sanctioned event. So there was no one to force the UFC's hand to move on without McGregor. In this case, the Nevada State Athletic Commission could force the UFC because the Nevada State Athletic Commission, let's just say, for argument's sake, that the Nevada State Athletic Commission suspends Khabib for 2 years. And that's outrageous. I don't think that'll happen. But let's just say, for 2 years, the UFC has no choice but to strip him of his title and move on with the lightweight division. So that's the difference. Not saying they're right, saying in one instance the UFC has their arm twisted, in the other they did not, hence why they let it go on. They absolutely share some of the blame. Now, I don't even think they share any of the blame. From my understanding, the UFC talked with both camps. They talked with them the week before the fight. They talked with them again on Thursday. And they talked to him Saturday night, hours before they went out there.
I wonder what they talked about.
Well, they talked about situations like this, that once the fight was over, it was over. You don't have to shake hands. You don't have to hug it out. You don't have to congratulate each other. But that's it.
But you can keep on insulting Khabib's dad and country and his religion and all that shit. I see.
Dude, sticks and stones. Come on.
No.
He's a grown-ass man.
No, yeah, I understand. But that's what I'm saying. They let it get personal. More personal. You know, when you...
Do you know that they kept people in the back? From McGregor, one of the reasons McGregor is standing in the octagon by himself after the fight is because his security detail was back in the locker room.
Why?
The UFC wouldn't let him come out.
Why?
Because they didn't want more people in the cage to have a fight.
No, because McGregor and his people are those kind of people that something would have happened.
They did the same thing to Khabib's people. Like each one was allowed to bring their 4 corner people, and that's it. The UFC, I think the UFC shares very little blame here. McGregor certainly shares some of the blame. Look, it's his corner people. But the lion's share of the blame, to me, lands with Khabib.
Plus, that made it much more exciting. I mean, just to see McGregor tap out, and then what? Bruce Buffer's going to announce everybody and give him his belt, and then, nothing could have topped the guy from Houston's interview, so Khabib wasn't going to give an interview like that, right? And so, that made the casual fan like Alex stay up and watch that.
Yeah, I don't disagree that it gets a lot of clicks and stuff like that, but I think Khabib shares a lion's share of the blame to me, and Khabib screwed himself a lot.
I honestly think he will probably get a 6-month suspension.
I think 6 months sounds about right.
And that will be enough for him to train in the meantime. And then,
well, he's not gonna. He's gonna. Well, he's likely gonna be medically suspended for 60 days anyway, right? So. Okay. And these guys fight. And my point is, 6 months is just the flow of the fight schedule for these guys at the higher end.
Right,
so
I'm
agreeing with you.
And then after that, in about maybe summertime next year, they'll fight again. They'll fight again, and we'll see. We won't see fat security people with red blazer jackets doing any security here.
Those poor guys. Those poor guys had it so bad. Look, and again, you're laying some blame at the feet of the UFC. If I had to put it in percentages, I'd give Khabib like 70% of the blame, Conor 25% of the blame, and the UFC like 5%. Did you see how many cops were there? Did you see how many cops were at the press conference? At the weigh-ins? There were cops everywhere. There was... You could have knocked over a couple... You could have knocked over a bank in Vegas on Saturday night and no one would know shit. Because all the cops were at the T-Mobile Arena. It was... So, the UFC, I think, took a lot of precautionary steps.
Yeah, no, but I guess what I'm gearing more towards was Dana White is the head honcho, right? He runs the whole thing, pretty much. Pretty much he does. Okay, so, I mean, he could sit there and say, I'm disappointed that this happened and it's a black guy. No, well, yeah, it is, but deep down inside...
You think he likes it?
You kind of like this. You know what makes me say that? Remember a couple pay-per-views ago, I think, or maybe the last pay-per-view, Cormier, Brock Lesnar.
Right.
It just had that Vince McMahon type WWE feel. I don't like to compare the two, but it just had that kind of feel.
Right. No, yeah, I agree with you.
And so I part of what's his name? That Dana White, I'm sure, feels that this is beneficial for the sport and for for ratings.
Probably not for the sport, but certainly for. And look, I think does he see dollar signs for Khabib McGregor too?
Cha-ching.
Absolutely. But overall, I don't think he likes it.
No.
I don't think he likes it for this reason.
Well, and to quote...
It is a massive headache for him.
To quote Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley from WWE, doing what's best for business.
Yeah. Something else. It was an incredible night of fights. There were some Did you watch the entire card?
No.
You only caught the tail end of it.
No, actually, I'm glad I caught the fight before Ferguson and Pettis.
Wow.
I so was upset that Pettis broke his hand.
That was yeah.
That was such a good fight.
We needed another round of that fight.
Oh man, it was bloody from the word go.
Yeah. And both guys had their moments. I thought Ferguson was winning the fight.
I did too.
But man, oh man.
Yeah.
And then, did you catch anything before that?
No, but it's getting hot in here, and I'm about to take my shorts off because my balls are hot.
Please don't. Hey, fans, look, we tell you every week, if you have comments for the show, you can contact us at positivesports10@gmail.com. Positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of this guy, do so on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho. If you want to get a hold of me, you can do that on Twitter at eMontana21. Additionally, one of the best follows on Instagram, Derek Lewis, the Black Beast. I don't remember what his tag is on Instagram. I think it's at The Beast UFC.
I haven't checked it out yet.
It is. I've been following him for a while, so I already knew. Hilarious. What you saw in the cage on Saturday night, if you don't know what we're referring to, Derek Lewis was getting beat from pillar to post for 2.5 rounds, and in the last minute, launched a missile. And I say missile on purpose, on Alexander Volkov. Yeah, he's a Russian. Missile on that guy's face. He went one way. The mouthpiece went the other way. He fell backwards. Black Beast dropped a couple of bombs on him. That was the end of that. And the fight was over. The Black Beast does his little thumping of the chest. And he does this little play that he does after he wins. And then takes his shorts off. Thank God he was wearing like biker shorts underneath.
Right.
And of course, and Joe Rogan, I love Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah,
Joe
yeah.
Rogan's great on the mic in those situations. First question is, I'm here with your winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off? And Derek Lewis says,
The money question.
because my balls was getting hot.
The whole piece was money.
Oh, yeah. They asked him what he was going to do. He was going to throw his wife's legs up in the air and see what happened. I mean, it was just, the guy is a quote machine. And
Man.
And the way he says it, too, is part of the charm, right?
Yeah.
It's very nonchalant. Like, he's not trying, I don't think he's trying to be funny. I think he just says whatever flows out of his.
He's from Houston, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're gonna make the round, see if we can't get him on the show.
Oh man, that'd be great if we can get 2 UFC fighters.
Well, we can get 2. We got one coming.
Well, we
We got one in the works.
So that would be 3.
So yeah, and we're gonna try to get Derek Lewis.
That would be
here,
pretty awesome.
if we can fit him in here in my little itty bitty office.
Could you imagine with Derek?
Yeah.
Derek Lewis and Juan the Kraken Adams.
It'd be great if we could have both of them in here, but
Man.
their paths might cross one day, so maybe we don't want them.
Oh yeah.
Because if some shit breaks out in here like Khabib style, we're screwed.
Wait, so you're saying there's a chance that you and I could be promoters? We want a piece, UFC.
Yeah, Dana White, hit me up. Let's see. I'll try to make it happen.
Did I say you were at fault on Saturday? No.
No, we love you, Dana. We absolutely love you. Anyway, yeah, the fights on Saturday were a good time. I am, I'm all into the MMA thing. You're not.
I know
as
you
much,
are. No, but
we should have broken that
sad.
one down. And we got the Dodgers. I'm gonna move over to the MLB playoffs unless you want to talk more fights.
No. I mean, we're watching a game.
Yeah, we got the game going, and the Dodgers are up 6-2 on the Braves in the bottom of the 7th. Looks like trouble for the Braves.
Was that Manny Machado that put them up?
Yeah, 3-run home run.
He's got the coolest hairdo going.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
other than the guy from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
yeah, they're kind of similar though.
Oh,
if I could grow a better,
if you could
just
grow hair,
if I can grow,
you could just grow hair.
Yeah, this series is over.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a shame for the Braves, but the future looks bright for the Braves. So breaking down this series, the Dodgers. Look, I've been saying it all year, and they haven't quite gotten there. I said the Dodgers are going to come up and pull away with this thing, and they never quite did, but they did play a lot better in the month of September. They still have bullpen issues. I think is a big concern for them, and they played a Braves team that's very young and inexperienced. The future looks very bright in Atlanta.
Yeah, it does, man. They got a good young core there. Acuna with that grand slam last night was pretty cool.
Youngest player to ever hit a grand slam in the playoffs, right? Yeah.
21.
He's fantastic. He is fantastic. And, they still have Freddie Freeman, Markakis. Now, admittedly, Freeman and Markakis have gotten shut down in this series, which has been part of the problem with their offense. But
it's tough, man. You got to face Kershaw in Game 2 after Ryu, whatever. How do you say?
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, that. Yeah, him. We'll just call him Khabib, too.
The Asian Khabib.
The Asian Khabib.
The baseball Asian Khabib.
I mean, you got to face Kershaw in the second game. That's tough, man. You know, because you would like to steal one. Yeah. And then the kid Buehler last night, he didn't pitch so well, but
he's still a pretty good pitcher.
Good. He's good.
Man, that shot that Freeman hit last night. Good Lord.
I don't know which one was better, that one or Muncy, because Muncy looks like Babe Ruth there.
Yeah.
It's kind of chubby.
I missed the Muncy one, but the Freeman, that first pitch, I mean, he was looking for something specific, and he got it. And he got all of it because he launched that thing.
So they'll play the Brewers, who took care of the Rockies pretty damn easy.
Yeah.
The Brewers look...
The story of the Brewers is that pitching. I mean,
yes, because
27 out of 28 scoreless innings. They gave up 2 runs in the 9th inning of Game 1 and didn't give up a run after that.
I mean, I was big on them getting a starter, and I don't think they got one.
No.
I can't remember if they did or not.
No, they got bullpen help.
But yeah. I mean, their pitching is what's gotten them this far. And I mean, then they have an offense too, bro. I mean, like they're putting up runs.
Well,
they're not winning games 1-0.
Yeah, I mean they've got the National League MVP in Christian Yelich. I'll call it right now.
I think
I'm going out on a limb. I know it's a bit crazy to say something like that, but no, just kidding. He is the MVP.
I think so.
He's been fantastic. And look, they've won 11 in a row. They're hot going into the playoffs. That's always a good thing. We'll see how they match. I think they match up well with the Dodgers. That'd be a hell of a series.
Now, where would that take place? Milwaukee. Milwaukee has home field?
Milwaukee has home field throughout.
Wow. So even if they went to the World Series?
No. In the World Series, it depends on who they play. Well, I think now it doesn't matter.
Oh, wait. Obviously, the Red Sox.
The Red Sox.
Okay.
And now it'll be...
Okay.
Yeah, the Indians were the only team that would not have the advantage over the Brewers, or the rest of the teams that are in the American League.
And they have been eliminated.
Starched.
Yikes.
By the Astros. Look, you were talking about the sky is falling in August when they hit that little speed bump. But I'm telling you, that team is tough. They've got two aces. They've got 2.5 aces. Dallas Keuchel, to me, is not quite an ace, but kind of. But those other two.
On that rotation, he's not the ace. On probably 20 other teams around the majors.
Do you think he's a number one?
Yeah, he's got good stuff. Man, he won the Cy Young Day 2 years ago.
I don't think he's quite a number one.
He's good.
He's very good.
He's good.
Like I said, 2.5 ones.
Okay.
2.5 aces. And that's tough. But then on top of that, they've got a team that just... It's something about them in the playoffs. They don't feel pressure. It doesn't seem like they get bigger. As the lights get brighter, they get bigger. And it is one clutch hit after another. And the Indians just couldn't hang with him.
AJ Hinch, man. That guy is not afraid to,
move the pieces.
You know who's batting 7th for them?
Carlos
Correa. I mean,
hit a 3-run home run.
Carlos Correa is batting 7th. That's trouble for any team.
Yeah. And
so that just goes to show how potent that damn lineup is.
And it's hard to find managers that can manage with such an even keel. He doesn't get excited. He doesn't get upset. He is just constant. And
their bullpen is better this season. They actually have a closer now.
I hate to say it, but picking up Osuna that might be the steal of the deadline.
Yeah.
Because he has pitched lights out for the Astros.
Because Ken Giles was just not trustworthy.
No, he was not trustworthy. And, Osuna's pitching great. They made the Indians look bad on both sides, really. They shut down that lineup. Lindor was probably the only one that had a decent series. Ramirez was quiet. Kipnis was quiet. Gomes was quiet. I mean, it was pretty quiet throughout.
Donaldson.
Donaldson didn't do anything, but that guy's been hurt.
Yeah.
So they didn't do much. And then the timely hitting. I mean, they beat up on Trevor Bauer. They beat up on Kluber. They beat up on Miller. I mean, they just, whatever Clevenger today, it just didn't matter what they brought to the table. The Astros seemed more than prepared to deal with it.
Seems like the Indians are just running into bad luck because they got a talented team. They got a good team, but they just running into better teams.
Look, this is exactly what we talked about in previous weeks, and this is why I was so excited about the American League playoffs. These 4 teams. Look, yeah, the Indians got swept and they got plastered today, but even in game 1 and 2, you felt like maybe the Indians, a couple breaks one way or the other, they could maybe do something. The Astros were just too good, but the Indians are nothing to sneeze at. I mean, I watched game 1, and when I saw the stats, I knew this, I guess, but I guess I didn't know it until I saw it in front of me. Lindor's stats for the year are insane.
He's got great stats.
I mean, 38 home runs and 92 RBIs.
Leadoff guy.
From a leadoff guy.
Leadoff guy.
Ridiculous.
And the home runs he hit Saturday against Houston, that was a moonshot.
He crushed that thing. I mean, yeah, you're right. The Indians are no joke, and it's unfortunate that the Indians are out. Because they're a damn good team. And you know what? We're going to say the same thing in a couple of days about the Yankees or the Red Sox. It's going to be a shame to see one of them go. And we're going to say it again 2 weeks from now when either the Astros, Yankees, or Red Sox are gone.
Yeah.
Because all four of those teams, in my opinion, could have been very worthy representatives of the American League in the World Series, and unfortunately only one can go. And this is why I've been so excited about the American League playoffs.
The Yankees and the Red Sox. I mean, I just want to see a damn fight. I just want to see a fight.
You got 2 fights on Saturday night. Isn't that enough?
Well, no, that was good for Saturday. It rolled over into Sunday. Now I need one Monday. Let's get this train
let's get the fight train
Yeah.
going again. I don't need to see another fight, but I am loving this series. The first 2 games have gone pretty much the way I expected. Tonight's game 3 is pivotal for both teams.
Now, I'm at
Game
home.
3 usually is.
I'm at home watching game 1 on Friday night, right? Red Sox, Yankees, and Chris Sale's pitching, right? Their ace. I'm at home. I'm not at the stadium. Chris Sale goes 1-2 on the first 2 batters, right? 1-2 pitch counts, and you don't hear the fans. I don't hear the fans. I mean, again, I'm at home watching, but usually you can hear the fans at a stadium get loud and rowdy, especially on 2 strikes, first 2 batters of the game. Yeah. Your ace is on the mound against the evil empire, and I just didn't feel the electricity through the TV from the stadium.
It's weird.
Is that weird?
I've been to Fenway Park. And now, granted, it was a regular season game. I've been there twice. I've seen 2 games at Fenway Park, and it never seems loud. Like the games I went to, the Red Sox won both games, and it was louder for the 7th inning stretch when they sing "Sweet Caroline" than at any point during the game. It's something weird about that stadium, I think.
I found that very odd. I never really noticed before.
And I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you noticed this, but. And I don't know if it's where the microphones are set up with TBS or what, but you can hear the cheering in the Yankees dugout whenever they hit home runs. I mean, you can hear it crystal clear. It's like the fans left.
That's weird.
I don't know. Well, we don't have to worry about that because you will hear the fans tonight.
Oh, yeah.
In the Bronx.
Yeah, they're going to be loud, man. I mean, man, the Red Sox look like they're in trouble, man.
You're such a...
They look like they're in trouble.
The sky is always falling for you.
No, not for me. For the Red Sox.
Look,
I hope the ceiling here can hold the sky.
It's the playoffs, man. And they're not. It's not like they're playing.
I mean, yeah, but we're talking
scrubs.
No, but we're talking.
They're not playing the Orioles.
We're talking 108 win team. With
more than that. Did they win more than 100?
No, I think it's 108. Well, whatever. With about $108 million pitcher in David Price, who can't win, his ERA's as high as the ceiling.
David Price is not.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not the pitcher he used to be.
I mean, their bullpen sucks.
Their bullpen is a problem. Their bullpen is not a problem.
No, their bullpen is...
Getting to Kimbrel is the problem.
Yeah.
Kimbrel is good, but the in-between, yeesh.
I don't know,
that 7th and 8th inning short reliever...
And Mookie Betts still has 0 RBIs in the postseason.
Wow. Yeah, the Yankees have done a good job with him, but it's...
I don't know, man. I think
tough.
they're in trouble. They're not. It's not convinced. They're not.
They're in trouble until they win tonight, and then the Yankees are in trouble, right? I mean, it's...
No, because it's going 5. It's going 5. So? Yeah, it's got to, man. It's got to, man. Dana White is working this, man. It's going 5. It's going. I want 5 games. It's going 5. Absolutely.
So who pitches tonight?
Eovaldi. And
Severino.
Ooh.
That's a good matchup.
Yeah.
Severino is a bit of a head case in the playoffs.
Well, as long as he brings the pine tar, he'll be all right.
Yeah, and Eovaldi's been pitching good.
Yeah, but damn. I mean, that you got to rely on him to get you this win number 2.
Critical game 3
on the road.
Ooh. It's going to be, I think it's going to be super interesting. I can't wait to see it tonight. I'm going to be squared up in front of my TV.
Yes, I will be too.
I'm telling you, man. I don't.
Has this started?
I can't get enough of this baseball stuff.
No, man.
I mean, I am just chewing up baseball on the TV. I'm not watching anything else. I don't give a shit. I'm just watching baseball after baseball. I mean, I don't care what game it is.
Wait, you're not watching yellow flags fly around Sunday afternoon?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Come on, man.
And now, our VAR segment of the game.
Look, we shouldn't even talk about football and the refs. We just shouldn't. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
Your voice needs to be heard.
No. You know what? I think I started a rally. I think my voice is being heard. I think Mike Tomlin listened to the podcast and he heard me because yesterday in the press conference after the game, after the Steelers pounced on the Falcons, he spoke about penalties and the National Football League.
And what did he say about these soft penalties? If you don't know what we're talking about the T.J. Watt roughing the passer penalty, where his arm came across the. It's hard to tell.
His toe.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't quite that low. It was kind of like right at the knees. But I mean, he was flying by and he just kind of threw his arm out, and he got called for roughing the passer.
Yes.
What did Mike Tomlin say? Go ahead, because I think this is. I think you're.
Well, he
basically channeled his inner Alex Montana.
He said, "These penalties are gonna cost someone a game or their job."
Yeah.
And it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe not someone's job, but it's gonna cost somebody a game in the playoffs.
No, it could very well cost someone their job. And it could very well cost someone like Mike Tomlin his job. Look, the Steelers are 2-2-1, and they look improved over the last 2 weeks as opposed to the first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks. But he's got a problem on his hands. Le'Veon Bell now is expected to come back around week 7, week 8. So maybe that issue will help. But that defense is not good. They played well yesterday, but the defense is not good. He's a guy that could be teetering on the playoffs. One of those calls cost the Packers a game against the Vikings where they ended up tied.
Big game.
It could cost the Steelers, and if the Steelers don't make the playoffs, look out. He may be out of a job. So he may be talking about himself.
He very well could be, yes. The only reason I don't think he'll lose his job is because Pittsburgh, three head coaches in like
113 years.
Yeah. So that's probably why I think he won't. But yes, he could very well be talking about himself.
I think if he doesn't make the playoffs, he might get fired. If they finish 8-7-1, he's out of a job.
Breaking news.
Yes, sir.
Regarding Le'Veon Bell and the Steelers.
Oh, I heard about this. Go ahead.
Jay Ajayi is out for the year. Torn ACL on his left leg now.
For the Eagles.
For the She-Gals. The Super Bowl chumps, they need a running back. We could see a Keystone State trade right here. I'm saying it could happen. It could.
I don't know. It depends on what the Steelers are asking.
Oh, it's got to be a first rounder, right? It's got to be a first rounder.
Does it?
Yes, it has to be. If not, I don't give him up.
I don't think running backs go that high.
No, but I mean the Eagles in a pretty crappy East Division.
I'll tell you what. If the Saints win tonight, which I think they will, if the Saints win tonight, oh my God, that division's awful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Bell could help the Eagles.
Oh yeah,
No,
I don't disagree with you that the Eagles should very seriously look into the Le'Veon Bell thing. I just don't think that they're going to agree, because I agree with you in that the Steelers will want a first-round pick, but I agree with me that I don't think anyone is going to offer a number 1 pick.
I mean, you wouldn't?
No, for a running back, no, I wouldn't.
Not even if it's just for this 1 year to get you through possibly a playoff run.
Even more reason not to. I don't know,
man. I think I do it. All
right, let's go. No, okay, but let's go through the teams and tell me why you would do it. So with the Eagles, you're saying championship quality team, lost their running back, they could go and get Le'Veon Bell, give up the first rounder, and maybe make another run for the postseason.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Who else?
What other team?
Yeah, what other team would do something like that right now?
Shoot, I don't know.
Packers?
Maybe.
That's the other problem. I don't think there's any takers. Who else is going to do it?
The Raiders?
I think the Raiders are pretty much mailing it in. They do not look good to start here.
Let me see. Well, I'll tell you one team.
Hey.
The Jets. The Jets. The Jets should.
The Jets might.
They got the money too.
Hey, I got to give you props.
On?
I'm going to do this every week because I'm just fucking amazed.
Right.
The Bengals look good.
Man, do they? Do they?
How much money did you put on that?
On what?
On the Bengals
winning the division?
Going to the Super Bowl.
I got them winning the division.
Do you really?
Yeah, I put money on.
Did you really?
Yes, I absolutely did.
If you don't mind me asking, what kind of odds did you get on them winning the division? Ballpark. Yeah,
plus 230 maybe.
Oh, that's a good bet. That division looks ripe.
That's a tough loss though, Eford, right, from last week.
Yeah, but look, they bounced back. They looked good yesterday.
I don't know.
Who they beat yesterday?
The Dolphins. They came back 17-0.
Yeah, they were down 17-0, came back. They're looking good, and they still have AJ Green. And Mixon is playing well. They've got Andy Dalton. I
like their team.
Yeah, I mean, man. They're looking really good. If they can stay away from the injury bug, you got to give them props at this point.
Yeah,
they're looking good. It's kind of funny. The first couple of weeks, you're like, oh my God, I was totally wrong about this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
And now after week 5, some stuff's starting to clear up, right? So Miami, which looks so good at 3-0, is now 3-2. Doesn't look that good. New England look not good at 1-2. Now they're 3-2. They look great again.
They look like they're back to normal.
Cleveland looks good. I heard someone on TV today talking about they could very easily be 5-0. And I'm like, they could be, but they could also be 0-5. I mean, it's not like...
Yeah, they did have...
it's close.
And that's another team that got hit by the penalty flag situation against the Raiders. Back in, I think, like week 2.
Yeah, a different kind of penalty. A different penalty, but
I can't remember
it wasn't a rough in the passer.
It wasn't a rough in the passer? Okay. Plus 550.
Oh my God. That's a great bet.
I guess you can't see that.
No,
you can't see that.
Can't see that.
Yes, see? 550.
No, I believe you. I don't want to look at your account. That's the last thing I want. Now I'm gonna try to hack it.
You gotta figure out the password. Bengals Super Bowl champs.
1.
18.
You gotta put a number on the end. Now the other surprise is, man, the Packers do not look good.
Listen, that's another guy, and McCarthy. McCarthy's on the hot seat, bro.
But that's another organization that's a lot like the Steelers. 3 coaches in 85 years, and they don't do the coach thing very much. But I don't.
They have a different type of vocal leader at quarterback that I think
helps him
a
lot,
and doesn't help McCarthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Look, the Packers, as Aaron Rodgers goes, so go the Packers. And when the season started, I was big on the Packers because I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to come back with a vengeance. But now that he's hurt, I mean, it's just tough. He just does not have the mobility that he needs to operate effectively within the pocket and even outside of the pocket. And it shows on a lot of plays. And when your kicker misses 4 field goals and an extra point, there's a problem too, right? 13 points off the board, they lost by 8.
How do you get 13 points off the board on 4 field goals?
And an extra point.
Oh, okay. I'm like, dude, you're an accountant and your math is wrong.
Yeah, I'm the accountant.
I'm about to say you're
never forget that.
I'm about to say you're gonna be fired.
When it comes to number stuff, you just shut your mouth.
How was Crosby not fired today?
You just shut your mouth when we're talking about it. Anytime we talk about it, you shut your mouth. Once we start saying 5 seconds, shh.
I'm just saying. I had to make sure you were. How does Crosby still have a job today?
Yeah.
I mean, if I fuck up 4 times at my job, I'm getting fired the next day.
I'm getting promoted, dude.
Oh, I need to come work there.
Yeah, I'm getting promoted. My job sucks. Everyone around me sucks. If I fuck up, I got a friend we used to work with years and years ago. Who, yeah, I'm an accountant, right? So we go through this month-end close every month, close the books, and man, every month he would completely foobar some report or some step in the month-end close process. Dude never got fired.
Damn.
I used to owe it. My comment was, and I won't use his name. We'll call him
Khabib.
We'll call him Khabib. Khabib's got pictures of the CEO and a donkey somewhere. There's no way. But some people just have that Midas touch, right?
Yes.
And maybe Mason Crosby's one of those guys.
Yes.
Maybe he just has the Midas touch. He can fuck up as much as he wants.
He has been there for a while.
He has. Speaking of kickers, though, and I know this is going to hurt you. It hurt me, but you're a bigger Giants fan than I am.
Oh, God.
No, we're gonna talk numbers here. 63 yards.
I mean,
give me your break.
We'll be here for another 2 hours.
Give me your breakdown on the Giants at this point. Here's my quick. I'll give you my quick take on the Giants. I think the Giants are in that division. Anyone can win the division, right?
Yes.
I think they're so close to turning it around. But I think the Giants will step on themselves 15 times trying to run out of the theater on fire.
That's what it feels like, man. I mean,
they had a great comeback yesterday. And couldn't hold them down. They couldn't hold the Panthers for a minute. Look, the guy kicked a 63-yard field goal, right? They kind of did hold them, but I mean, it's just part of it is that how could they not step up in the big situation, and part of it is how could they have this much bad luck?
Yeah, I don't understand, man. I mean, look, a loss is a loss, but I hate to do this. There was 2 flags called late in the game, and there was a 3rd and 1 that, to me, it didn't look like McCaffrey crossed the first down line. They didn't even review it. The ticker on the bottom said 4th and 1. I thought, okay, they didn't call a first down. Well, apparently somebody called the first down, and it ended up being a first down. It was 20 seconds left, and that kind of set up. But the play on the field by the Giants is exactly what I've been saying. It's nothing but slants and cross routes. There's no...
The deepest pass all season was thrown by Odell Beckham.
I just don't understand it, bro. I don't understand it. And, Odell talked during the week, light some fire and some heart and blah, blah, blah. And then in the very first quarter, he drops a freaking pass that Eli hits him.
But that's going to happen, right? I don't blame him so much. I don't blame him, but it wasn't just him. The entire team came out flat.
Yeah, but...
How does that happen?
But... the media and the spotlight and playing in New York, when you drop a pass like that and you cause a fumble by the punt being recovered, all eyes on you now. And then that interview comes out and it's just a big freaking mess. And it feels like we're a hot mess team for 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Really, it feels like that. But I do agree with you. It kind of looks like we want to turn the page, but... thank God the division is not that good. No one's really running away with it unless the freaking Redskins win tonight. But I mean, even if they do win, no one's running away with it. So I don't know, man. I'm out of words for the Giants.
Yeah. Speaking of turning it around, you and I both high on the Texans before the season started. They've won 2 in a row. They look like they might start to come out of it, but they gotta do something with Deshaun Watson. Because I'm not even a Texans fan, and I take a deep breath because that kid's taking a beating. He took a beating last night.
Last night, and that's what makes him so damn tough, is that he did take a beating last night, and he wasn't afraid to stand in the pocket. And I thank God for DeAndre Hopkins. That guy is a damn beast, and I mean, he bailed him out on that.
Well,
they didn't bail him out, but
with the struggles that the Steelers are having this year, DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the NFL right now. I mean, I think Antonio Brown is better, but he hasn't proven it this year. But this season, for sure, DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the NFL.
I think the problem with the Texans, number one, is Bill O'Brien and his play calling. Number two is that offensive line. It's not that good.
We saw two guys last night that are going to be out of a job because of their play calling. Because Garrett
won't be out of a job.
Jason Garrett's out of a job.
He won't.
That guy's terrible. His play calling is ridiculous. Bill O'Brien's play calling is ridiculous. Yeah. I think they're both out of a job. If the Texans don't go deep in the playoffs, he's out of a job.
That's another team that could use Bell.
They won't give up. They won't give up a first rounder.
They won't give up a first round.
No, I don't think they would. But they may entertain it.
Yeah, but
they might. They might. And look, if you have two, that was part of my argument earlier. If you don't have another team that's really interested in Le'Veon Bell,
right,
it's going to be hard to get a number 1 round pick out of a team. But if you've got two teams interested, now you can start to play one off the other, and maybe you do get one team offer a first rounder. But and the Cowboys are exactly what I said they are. They're an 8-8 football team. They're going to win one, lose one, win one, lose one. They lost this week. They're probably going to win next week. I don't even know who they're playing, but I'm going to bet that they're going to win.
2-3. They're 2-3.
Yeah. I mean, they're just... And 1 week, that offensive line looks fantastic, and they can run the ball at will. And then other weeks, man, they can't move the ball at all. And last night was one of those.
They're not that good. I don't even think they're gonna end up 8-8, bro. Like seriously, I'll be surprised if they win 6 games.
Well, I think they're 7-9, 8-8, 9-7. That's their range right there, right smack in the middle. Because this is what they're gonna do all season long. They're gonna go back and forth between wins and losses. And I mean, if Elliott gets hurt, I guess they could go on a skid. If Prescott gets hurt, they could go on a skid. But other than that. That's just a freaking mediocre football team. And Garrett is just...
Yeah, he's horrible.
Yeah.
One more. Mm-hmm. Rams-Chiefs Super Bowl? I know it's early. I know it's early. It's early. But I'm just saying.
The entire league seems to be 2-3 or 3-2.
Yeah.
Except for the Rams and the Chiefs. And the Chiefs passed a big test, right? They played that tough defense, and they looked good. Now, admittedly, Jacksonville kind of helped them out by being horrific on offense, right? Blake Bortles went all Blake Bortles.
He was bortled out.
Oh my goodness! And I mean, and so they helped him, but the Chiefs look really good. The Rams look unstoppable.
Yeah, both teams look like they can put up 40 points any game.
Yeah, is there anyone? Is anyone else 4-1?
4-1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Dude, the Bengals. Come on.
Oh, the Bengals. Yeah.
I think there's another team 4-1.
I don't know, but it seems like everyone.
The Saints could be 4-1 after tonight.
Oh, okay.
The Bears are 3-1. They had a bye.
Because it seems like everyone's 3-2 or 2-3.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except for the Giants that are 1-4.
Hush. Yeah.
And the Bills.
Who's winless?
I don't think there's anyone.
There's no one win. Really?
I don't think so. Yeah.
That sucks. Damn, Browns got better then. Yeah, no one's winless. Dude, the Browns and the Steelers are at the bottom at 2-1.
Baker Mayfield, is he the real deal or not?
Yes. Yeah, I think he's the real deal.
Yeah, I think so too. I like him. I'm excited to see how he's going to develop on that team. And the Falcons are 1-4.
They got a lot of injuries, bro.
They got injuries everywhere. I hate to say it, but their season is pretty much done. They've got too many injuries, and
Julio Jones, 0 touchdowns.
There's some fantasy dork out there that's livid.
Are you calling me a dork?
No, because you play for money. I'm talking about non-money playing dorks.
Good. Because I don't have Julio Jones anyway.
Let's see. What else?
Football. What else happened in football? I can't think of anything else.
I don't know. I think I'm ready to go watch the Yankee game. What about you?
It's on already.
It's on already?
I think so. You were about to get up. You can't get up
I
yet.
think it's time we wrap this sucker up.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Episode 40.
440. Damn, I may go drink one tonight.
40. Who'd have thought when we started this in February we'd be at 40 episodes?
40 episodes. That's it.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I'm just repeating it.
It's not a good podcast.
Who's your number 40? There's only one number 40, bro. There's only one number 40.
Oh my god, I'm completely drawing a blank. This freaking mad cow disease,
man.
Fuck you up.
It's called old.
Whatever. You call it old. I call it mad cow.
The Rain Man, Sean Kemp.
No. Number 40, not how many kids he's got.
Sean Kemp,
40,
man.
yeah.
I don't know. When I think of 40 or jersey number 40, I think of Sean Kemp.
I can't think of one.
I want to say Pat Tillman. Was Pat Tillman
41?
Was he?
42.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I don't think he was 40.
Okay. All right. Well, Sean Kemp. I'm sure there's oh no. I don't
Somebody's gonna hit us up.
I don't care what he did off the court. I mean, the dude was a highlight film, man.
Someone's gonna hit us up. How could you forget? And I'm gonna go, mad cow.
I know. It's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Oh my god, it's gonna be some legend.
I can't think of no.
I can't think of one.
In baseball, I can't think of one.
I am completely. It's complete
football,
stage fright here.
And basketball, I can't think of anybody.
Oh god.
Soccer, nobody wears 40 in soccer.
Oh yeah, they do. In Italy,
really?
It's funny. Like traditionally in soccer, they go 1 through 22, right? Because you got a 22-man roster. In Italy, though, they like to wear all those crazy. You got 99, 78. They think it's funny. I'm like,
that's
you're
odd.
a dork.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I like about soccer, right? 10 is your best midfielder, 9 is your striker, 7 is your scorer. You know, typically 2 through 5 is your defense. Your goalie is typically a 1.
Right, because if you're new to the sport, you can say, "Oh, okay, that's number 10. He's probably their best player."
Right. It's easier, right? But no, in Italy they like to go just freaking hog wild with the numbers.
That's weird. I didn't know that.
Hockey's been doing that too. Like you see more crazy numbers in hockey. It used to be like 1 through 30 in hockey. Now you see all kinds of crazy numbers.
Huh. Right.
So if once we get up to like episode 78, we need to brush up on our Italian soccer players. Hey man, you got a shout out?
I do have a shout out. If this shout out doesn't resemble what the Positive Sports Podcast slogan is, ignore the negativity, be the positivity. If it doesn't resemble that, then I don't know what the hell does. My shout out goes to John Spencer. And you're probably saying, who the hell is John Spencer? How high does he jump? How many career points does he have?
Hold on. Who the hell is John Spencer?
Exactly. Who the hell is John Spencer? John Spencer is from Oakland, California, who went to the Yankees game, okay, sat in the right field bleachers, okay,
right,
and of game 1, the wild card game between the Yankees and the A's, and obviously he's the only freaking Oakland Athletic fan because his hair is dyed green, and you know the game's about to end or whatever, and everyone's cheering, jumping up and down, and this douchebag throws the beer at him and then throws the cup at him, and it hits him in the head, and John Spencer turns around, doesn't start the fight, nothing. He just he said something, but he didn't direct it to anybody because he didn't see who did it.
Right.
Okay? So, a day later or 2 days later, he gets reached out by the guy that I think threw the cup at him. They met up, had a couple drinks. They even did a skit together where
I did not know that.
Where this guy gets John Spencer, right? And so to play it out, John Spencer, you know, how's it going? This and that, blah, blah. He's like, and then the announcer or the interviewer is like, I know where these guys are at. Come with me. So he goes inside the interviewer, and the interviewer tells the guy that threw the drink, hey, Aaron Judge is outside. So, they go running outside, and John Spencer's there. And he throws the beer on him, and then he tackles him to the floor, or the other guy falls down to the floor, and they end up going to the club that night and having a drink and just besties of all time.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And I'm saying because let me tell you, if that's me, I'm probably going to jail that night. I want to know who the hell threw it at me. I want to know who hit me with the cup. I'm fighting.
Right.
And for John Spencer, which I'll give out his Twitter here in a bit, for John Spencer to just be so cool about it and look at the positive side of things and not react in a negative way that who knows what it could have led to, probably an ass beating.
Yeah.
Damn, it says a lot, man. And in today's day and age, I commend the hell out of him. I also commend the hell out of the other guy. I'm not gonna shout him out because he was
a dick at first.
You just shouldn't do that again. Yeah. You want to talk crap amongst each other, go right ahead, but just don't throw anything.
I didn't understand why they threw the beer at him. He looked like he was just kind of chilling. The A's, to follow up on your story, the Oakland A's also reached out to that guy and sent him a New Jersey, one that doesn't smell like beer, and I think tickets to a game and stuff like that. So they hooked him up too, which I thought was pretty cool.
Keep the jersey, give me the tickets. I'm cool with that. So John Spencer, his Twitter handle is at Johnny Play Drums. I guess he likes to play drums.
No.
He's a software engineer, drummer, currently working at an SRE and playing drums in punk band. Occasionally getting doused in beer by Yankee fans. Well, he did get doused by the douchebag. John Spencer, I didn't mean to mess up my shout out to you, but shout out to you. Keep ignoring the negativity and be the positivity.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Except for the dousing part, because it got weird there for a second. Jesus. My shout out goes to, again, a similar thing. Ignore the negativity, be the positivity. Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson fought on Saturday night 5 months after a serious knee injury. Serious knee surgery. He was the interim UFC lightweight champion. He was supposed to fight Khabib. He got hurt on the set of a show, and just one of those freak accidents, really tore up his knee. They said he was going to be out 6 months to a year. And in a sport that is violent by nature, MMA, he came back in 5 months, and 10 seconds into the fight, Anthony Pettis kicked him in that knee. He took the shot. He didn't check it. He took it, smiled at him, and kept fighting. And just incredible. If you get a chance, check out his open workout before the fight. He's got a little 2-minute monologue talking about thinking positively and doing whatever you set your mind to. That is fantastic. And that is just 100% ignore the negativity, be the positivity. That guy is laser focused, works as hard as anyone. 5 months after serious knee surgery, fought Anthony Pettis, who's a killer in his own right, and beat him in a just knockdown, drag-out fight. Fantastic. My shout-out goes out to you, Tony Ferguson. Fantastic stuff.
That was a great fight.
Too
bad it was cut short.
Yeah. Hope Anthony Pettis heals up quick, because he looked great in that fight as well.
Agree.
So with that, we've come to the end of another wonderful episode of the Positive Sports Podcast. If you want to reach out to the show, feel free to do so. You can catch us via email.
It's okay, man.
You can catch us via email, positivesports10@gmail.com, positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of this guy.
Don't be a leader, be a follower on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho.
And if you want to get a hold of me on Twitter, you can do so as well at eMontana21. And as always, folks, ignore the people talking trash to you. Ignore the injuries. Ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.